Hey Pizza Heads! The episode you're about to listen to was first released as an exclusive bonus show on our now defunct Patreon page. These bonus episodes were always fun explorations beyond our full-length, free shows that most of you never got the chance to hear. We've decided to rescue them from the leftover pizza vault and re-release them here to our main show feed for all of you to enjoy for years to come. Anyways, we hope you enjoy, and if we make a dated reference or talk about Patreon members, now you know why.
Welcome to the final Halloween 2023 Leftover Pizza Patreon bonus episode for the season, and boy, do we got a fun one planned for you today. Sponsored by Subway, we're talking about Fox Halloween Bash from 1995, hosted by the Crypt Keeper himself.
And actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, that was pretty good. That's a good Crypt Keeper, man.
That was pretty good. Hey, remember a couple years ago when we were still doing Dem Boys and we made up a Game Boy? And then we actually got John Cassier, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, to promote the Game Boy. That was wild.
It was wild. It was a big moment for Dem Boys.
Yeah, and it was a very low moment for John Cassier.
To be he was like, wow, a Game Boy? All right, fuck it. Give me the cash.
Fine, $50, whatever.
Totally.
Yes, you all should be very, very, very excited that this is actually happening because, holy shit, I think this was the most pain in the ass thing that we've done for the podcast so far.
It was.
We had this bright idea towards the end of the summer that we were going to buy these old sold as blank VHS tapes. And so we got this one and a few other ones, and we're like, oh, we'll rip it down. We'll post it online. Not a big deal. Then we can both watch it. We'll talk about it, and then we'll upload it for you guys to watch. Holy crap. The amount of technical difficulties we ran into with this one.
Dude, yeah, just ripping VHS in general. It's such a tedious task. I was completely unaware. You watch a YouTube video, and they're like, yeah, you just buy this little majigger, and then you plug it into your TV, and it's like all sorts of shit can just go wrong in between. It's unreal.
And boy, it did go wrong. Very wrong. Quite wrong.
Yeah.
And so I guess this to say that I tip my hat to all of the other fellow nostalgia lovers who have committed hours and days to ripping down other VHS tape to upload to YouTube with little to no fanfare, little to no thanks, stuff that gets stolen left and right, and no credit given. Holy shit, I have a newfound respect for everybody who does that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This was not easy.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, tonight's special here, as far as this ad goes, it looks like the big nights were Friday and Sunday night. And it's two of the big Fox names at that time, Goosebumps and Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. So we'll share our thoughts on the specials as we get to them, and also a few of the commercials in between.
We should note that this is Fox's fourth annual Halloween bash back in the day. So I believe this actually started in maybe 1991, because this premiered all the way back October 25th onward in 1995. So this is almost as old as me, which is crazy to think.
I was 6 years old?
I was not.
And I was probably still swimming around.
Or just about to be 2. So yeah, for those of you listening, if you want to watch along, you can certainly do that. We've actually posted the whole, as whole as we could get on the tape that we ended up finding on eBay onto archive.com. So I preserved it for you all. You can either download it or you can stream it over there. I'll make sure that I post a link. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to watch, you can. And otherwise, you want to just jump into this and get going?
Absolutely. Let's jump into this, man.
Friday, Fox presents a Halloween special.
I need a really scary mask, like that one.
Based on the bestsellers of R.L. Stine.
I can't get it off me.
Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask.
This face is your face now.
Friday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
So first up, we have Friday night's viewing, Goosebumps Haunted Mask. Now, this is just a little synopsis. Targeted and bullied by her peers and classmates, a young girl, Carly Beth Caldwell, decides to get revenge on Halloween. She steals a particularly scary mask from a dingy shop in an off-limits room against the shop owner's permission and finds out that this particular mask is way scarier than she bargained for. This is the premiere episode. What an awesome way to kind of start the Goosebumps franchise on the Fox TV network in general. And I feel like it kind of holds up pretty well, like compared to the rest of the series.
I mean, yeah, it definitely does. That's, you know, I don't know if it's because they gave it a bigger budget to kick the thing off properly, but,
Yeah.
you know, it has, 5 or 6 custom masks that they had designed just for this episode.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's great. Not to mention the uncanny Carly Beth head that we're supposed to believe look exactly like her. And it looks like a 5th grader made it. Like, I remember reading that book back in the day, and they're describing it that could have been her actual twin. Like, it was crazy how much and how lifelike her little bust looked. And then you actually see it on this episode, and you're like, is that supposed to be the same thing they're talking about in the book? Because that looks like a Polly Pocket blown up 200%.
Yeah.
It's
That's not Carly Beth. That's Barley Kath.
Yeah, I mean, it's acted well enough for a Goosebumps episode, because let's face it, Goosebumps never had top tier writing or top tier acting. It was all pretty bottom of the barrel.
It wasn't quite Are You Afraid of the Dark and all the other series that were already kind of started a while ago and still holding strong. But for this episode, it is top tier Goosebumps, to say the least.
Yeah, it is, which it's kind of sad to admit, because that just means that everything else kind of gets so much worse.
Oh yeah, drastically. But I don't know, Carly Beth, her character, the actress that plays her, she did a well enough job. I mean, you genuinely feel bad for her at some parts of the show, not intensely.
You do?
Oh, you do? I think she deserved it. Eat worms, bitch.
Yeah, I do. I was actually having this conversation with someone on Twitter the other day.
Yeah. No shit.
And we were like, she kind of fucking deserved everything she got. She sucked.
She kind of sucks.
I can't mince words. She's kind of a shit of a kid, you know. She just seems like she's trying to make everybody's life a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. And she's always getting her way too. Like, to her detriment, right? The guy said, you can't have that mask.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
takes it anyways. Her mom goes out of her way to, like, be this loving, caring mother. She makes her a costume. Carly Beth shits all over that. She's just, like to her friends, she's not a particularly good friend. She just, she kind of deserved to have that mask melt to her face.
Okay, all right. I'll give you the friend thing. She's kind of a dickhead friend, but like, with the mask, the guy that she took it from, she didn't really take it. She kind of threw the money at him and then took it. And her mom, who wants to wear a dumb fucking duckling costume? She just wanted to be scary. She wanted to get back at her bullies. I mean, they made her eat worms in a sandwich. Come on.
Well, I think that she deserved to eat
Deserved
worms. She kind of sucks as a kid. All right, that's all I'm going to say. And
Okay,
to,
that's fair.
just rebut a bit here, Grimy, she threw money at the guy, okay? There wasn't a price tag on it, which means she stole it. What if that mask was worth $10,000? What'd she throw? A crumpled up 5?
Close enough. Good enough. Well, if it makes you feel any better, that scene where she does eat the worm in the sandwich, I was looking it up, and apparently the actor that played Carly Beth, they were originally going to use a rubber worm, a fake one, but she said no. She wanted to use a real worm to make the experience a little bit more authentic and make it look real. Wow. And it turns out they had to do that shot 12 times. So,
wow. Wow. So you're saying that she was doing some method acting. And
absolutely.
Still turned in just an okay performance.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm being harsh. I'm being really harsh on a kid actor from 30 years ago. She really wasn't that bad. The kid herself wasn't that bad, but however they wrote the character of Carly Beth, the fictional character of Carly Beth, not the actor, was just an asshole. That's my point that I'm trying to make. That's all.
I'll let you have it. Carly Beth's a dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, so Next, I'd just like to hit up some of the highlights and stuff that, personally, I don't know if you were freaked out about this one as a kid, but this one got me quite a few times, I'm not going to lie. Like, more than some of my favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes, this one got me quite often. I don't know if I've ever told anyone about this, but I'm pretty claustrophobic. Like, I think everybody is to a certain degree, but me especially, like, I fucking hate being in enclosed areas. When she gets the mask stuck over her head, that part just fucks me right up. Like, not once, but like 2 or 3 times this starts happening. The beginning where she finally gets the mask and is like trying it on for the first time, she's scaring her little brother home. She's like freaking out because it starts adhering to the bottom of her neck or whatever. She's like, I can't get the mask off. She takes it off and immediately just forgets it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, if that happened to me, that mask would have just been in the trash. I would have been done with it immediately. But she goes ahead and does it again, over and over again, and like eventually it adheres completely to her skin, becoming her body, basically. Like, she looks and there's no line where the mask ends or begins. Like, pretty fucked up.
I mean, it definitely got me thinking as a kid, because I mean, you know, like you said, who likes to be, you know, sucked into something? Who likes to be restricted or I think everybody, like you're saying, is a little bit claustrophobic to some degree, and that was always like a big fear of mine, was getting my head caught in something, and it was a big fear because it actually happened for real.
Oh, no shit.
At one point, yeah, I was probably about 2 or 3, and I was I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I think because I thought it was funny. But you know how kids would have potty training toilet seats? Like, it just made the hole smaller so you didn't fall into the real toilet.
Oh my God. So you stuck your head in the training potty?
Yeah, well, not, you know, into the toilet. But
Okay.
I pulled the toilet seat off at my grandmother's house, the child-sized one, and I pulled it over my head, thinking that would be funny that I was wearing a toilet seat around my neck. And it was funny until my grandmother realized she couldn't get it off my head. and she had to call the fire department to come cut it off.
Oh, they cut it off then? How did they do
They
it?
cut a toilet seat off from
Oh my
around my
God.
neck.
Did they have like a little saw or something? Or like, what do they do?
I really don't remember. I just know that at that point, I no longer thought it was funny, nor did anybody else in my grandmother's house. And I was screaming bloody murder, tears pouring down my face because a whole bunch of grown men had to come cut a toilet seat off from around my
God.
neck. So, yeah, the original choker, really. That was before the choker became famous. So, you might say I popularized it.
You just might have. So now, like, do you stay away from bathrooms and stuff like that? You like?
I stay away
perpetually
from
afraid of them?
bathrooms entirely. Yeah,
You
I
just kind
just
of piss yourself?
adult diapers. Yeah, I
Oh,
shit my
hell yeah,
pants.
dude. I mean, if you think about it, it really saves you a trip to and from the bathroom.
It's saving time. I'm more efficient. There's no chance of injury, and I'm never going to end up in a situation like Carly Beth. See, we got back around to Goosebumps. I brought it back for you.
All right, so a couple more highlights here I wanted to hit on. When Carly becomes this character, like this demonic haunted mask character, and she like finally gets her big bully moment against her own bullies in the cemetery, she starts like howling at the moon, and she digs a hole to bury the Carly Beth replica head in the ground and just kind of like kicks dirt over it and is like, see you later, crybaby. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to include in like a child's horror TV series. I just thought it was interesting. Kind of a cool moment.
Yeah, it's very adult in nature, very metaphorical. I'm burying my old self. This is
Yeah.
the new Carly Beth, the new version of me.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like it's maybe kids wouldn't have picked up on it. Like I didn't really pick up on it right away. Like I said, I watched this the other day in preparation for this and I was like, oh, I see what they did there. That's cool. And in general, I love the idea of this replica head and like her having the costume head on and just carrying her old head around. I thought that was a pretty cool concept. So kudos to Goosebumps for that one.
R.L. Stein teaching metaphors.
Yeah. What a guy. Oh, and happy belated birthday. We got it on the right day and he retweeted us. No big deal.
No big deal. Yeah, our somewhat hero. long time, me love you long time, 80-year-old hero of a man just acknowledged our presence. That's no big deal.
Then lastly, this one always got me too, honestly. As bad as the CGI was back in the day, still kind of effective and creepy. When she goes into the old store and yells at the store owner and asks what the hell is going on, and she is being chased by all the other haunted masks as they slowly hover off of their little posts and come after her. I thought that was fucked up. A little fucked up, very eerie looking.
Yeah, no, it is, because that was always just a worry of mine in general. All of my playthings or things of importance to me were in my parents' basement. So I was forced to be in their basement to enjoy life and to enjoy myself, to play. And the thing about that is I loved my play space, but I was also terrified of being in a basement. You get what I'm saying? So not only did I think I was going to walk down there when only part of the lights were turned on and see something that I didn't want to see, I was afraid of the thing that I was going to see being my inanimate objects coming to life in some evil Toy Story
I was just gonna say,
meets
evil Toy
Child's
Story.
Play scenario. Yes.
Yeah, fuck that. When you really twist the idea
Yeah.
of Toy Story, it becomes a whole different vibe. Basically, that's pretty much it when it comes to The Haunted Mask. All in all, I feel like it is still kind of a fun episode. Can't compare it to the book because I can't read.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We've
We
established
can't
this.
forget that. Yeah.
But like I said, I used to watch it pretty often as a kid, and I think it's the perfect addition to this particular Halloween bash. I love that they used it to premiere the series on this big event, and just the whole vibe of it is just awesome. You can still watch this now. You can watch it on Netflix if you want to, or watch it over on the wherever the hell we have it posted.
Yes, again, I'll post it in the show notes, but over on archive.com. It's uploaded in full. And don't ask me the legality of that. I don't know. I'm just preserving history, man.
You're my agent. You have to do something about this. My face is on the cup with a duck. Well, I'm allergic to ducks. Well, what about Bugs Bunny? He's cool. What? Emmett Smith has bugs? He's just a running back.
Now at McDonald's, get a free Looney Plays to-go cup when you supersize any extra value meal. The NFL's Emmett Smith with Bugs, Barry Sanders with Taz, Bledsoe with Wiley, and Marino with Daffy on new to-go cups.
How'd I get on a McDonald's cup with Marino? Some agent. I'm allergic to dolphins.
Have you had your break today?
Dun, 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 dun.
Get your fucking hot dogs. Get your hot dogs.
$5. Yes, that's right. This wouldn't be a Halloween episode if I wasn't bringing up sports, Grimy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a leftover pizza episode with Derek in it if it didn't bring up sports.
Yeah, it's sort of become a trend, me not being a sports fan, but having crazy ties to 90s sports. I don't get it. But guess what? We're here and we're doing it again. So buckle up. You're in for a 5-minute ride, everyone.
Yeah. In your defense, this one's a really awesome commercial. Like, we couldn't not bring this one up.
Absolutely. All right. So, I mean, if you're watching this on the full broadcast, this is right in the first commercial break. Believe it or not, both of my picks this evening are right from the first commercial break. And it doesn't mean that I'm lazy. It just means that there was some really good commercials in the first commercial break. So
There was.
you've got something to look forward to right up at the top there. So this one is a McDonald's commercial, and it's a promotion for what they called the Looney Plays to-go cups. Looney Plays, as in Looney Tunes. So in this one, now I believe this is pre-Space Jam, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I thought Space Jam was 96, but I started second guessing myself because I'm live on air, and that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, so November of 96 is when Space Jam came out. In 1995, October of 95, McDonald's decided to join one of the most popular sports stars of the era, Dan Marino, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and another popular character from pop culture, Daffy Duck. Actually, most of the Looney Tunes. But this commercial revolves around Dan Marino finding out that he's been put on a McDonald's cup and he's very displeased. He's on the phone with his agent. He's very displeased to find that he's sharing the limelight on this cup with Daffy Duck. He doesn't want to be on a cup with a duck, Grimy.
No, absolutely not. He wants to be on a cup with Ray Finkel. Laces are out, bitch.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there wasn't more of an Ace Ventura tie-in to this commercial. Yeah, he's begging his agent to get Daffy taken off of his cup, and he wants to have the character replaced with Bugs, because Bugs, and I quote, is cool.
Right.
Okay. And listen, Dan Marino was a lot of things back in the 90s. He was cool. What he wasn't, my man was not an actor. Okay?
No,
I mean,
not.
If you thought his acting was wooden in the Ace Ventura movie, holy shit. He somehow gives a worse performance in this 30 seconds than in any amount of time in that movie. He is just, listen, he was the Tom Brady of the 90s, right? Dan Marino, he didn't have the wins that Tom Brady ended up getting, but in terms of cultural relevancy, Dan Marino was about as relevant then as Tom Brady is now and was throughout the 2000s and 2010s. That's just how it is. The thing about that is, at least Tom Brady can act a bit. He's definitely taken lessons. Somebody has said, Tom, listen, you're going to make an ass out of yourself. Take an improv class or two, okay? Dan Marino, his agent was like, hey, I lined up this gig for you. And he was like, well, gee, I don't know. I've never really acted in anything. And the agent went, acting schmacting. You throw a football, you can act. It's not a big deal. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
We quickly learned they're not the same thing at all.
Oh, yeah. His agent is just Estelle from Friends in the background. Like, hey, forget about it. Just go and act. You're fine. You're acting with a couple of Looney Tunes.
The cartoons. You can't do better acting than cartoons.
This is me ecstatic right here. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, his acting was pretty awful. Awful enough that Daffy Duck in the end actually doesn't want to be on a cup with Dan Marino either. So it all works out.
Yeah, that's the whole big finale is that it ends with Daffy bitching to his agent that he has to share a cup with Dan Marino. So it's a great comedic payoff. Just a couple of things to note here. So to get this cup back in 1995, you actually had to supersize your meal back when that was actually a thing. And I couldn't believe how cheap the supersizing was. It was only 39 cents to supersize your meal and to get this collector's cup.
Wow, what a deal. That's actually insane.
You kind of like triple the amount of food that you're getting, and it's like
cents.
less than 50 cents. That's crazy, man. That's insane.
McDonald's working their magic, all that
Yeah.
good saturated fats.
That's right. And for anybody here who cares about sports to any degree, they mentioned that there were 4 cups in total. Obviously, it was Dan Marino with Daffy Duck, Drew Bledsoe, another quarterback who at that point might have been with the Patriots. I don't remember, but he's paired with Wile E. Coyote. Barry Sanders paired with Taz, and Emmitt Smith was paired with Bugs. And Dan Marino mentions how Emmitt Smith is just a running back, and it's kind of crazy that he was paired with the icon of the Looney Tunes instead of Dan Marino, because they would have been a better fit.
Yeah, very weird choice. And I don't know much about sports altogether. I mean, you've probably gathered that, but like, these are kind of must-have cups. They're pretty awesome. Like, I mean, easily take a photo of this for the Instagram and get a couple hundred likes on it. It's fucking beautiful.
Perfect for the Thanksgiving season. You can pretend like, you can take one of these cups, you can walk into the room with your uncle who's been watching football for 4 hours, sit down next to him, and for once he feels proud of you because you're taking an interest in his only interest, you see? And he'll go, hey, is that a Drew Bledsoe cup? And you'll go, yeah. It actually is, Uncle Al. And he'll go, is that fucking Wile E. Coyote? And you go, yeah, it actually is, Uncle Al. And he'll go, what's wrong with you? And then you just walk back out, I've painted a beautiful picture here.
Hi everyone, it's me, Talkboy FX Plus. I'm no ordinary pen. Just yesterday I did a recording. And that's not all. I do sound effects. Hey, let's do lunch. And I even do impressions. Check out my voice changer.
Kiss me, I'm a prince.
Kiss me, I'm a prince.
Talkboy FX Plus recording pen with 6 sound effects and 12 seconds of digital recording from Tiger.
So surely everybody has heard of the Tiger electronic Talkboy from Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Ring a bell?
Yeah, a little bit. Mainly because nobody shuts the fuck up about it.
Oh, man,
Which ironically is the whole function of the Talkboy, is that you can say it once and just play it over and over and over again.
Irony.
Maybe that's why we hear about it so much.
Irony.
Yeah.
So what might have snuck past you, because, I mean, it snuck past me. I had no idea that this existed, but this beautiful little pen here, this Tiger Electronic Talkboy FX pen, I really don't know how I missed this. Like, I would have been all the fuck over this pen had I known it existed. I already had the regular version of the Talkboy, but I also had this, like, Power Rangers versions of it. It was like a red Talkboy with Jason on the front of it. So, yeah, I would have been all in on the Talkboy pen.
I think, I can't speak for you because you're a little bit older than I am. But I think the reason that I never knew that it existed, aside from being maybe a little bit too young when it came out, was that by the time I was in school, and really by the time I could use a pen, because we were pencils only for a very long time, there was other substitutions for, like, I'm going to call them technology pens, like pens that had baked in technology in some regard. So maybe they would record you the way that Talkboy does. Maybe they would be even more advanced than that. When you press them down on the paper, it could read what you were writing, or, keep secret notes like it was a spy pen, things like that. So by the time that I got to that age where I would have cared about something like a Talkboy FX pen, there were other things filling that gap, that void.
That's fair.
My pen gap.
I call it my God hole.
You got a God hole, I got a pen gap. Same thing.
It is what it is. But I can't help but imagine how quickly this thing would have gotten taken away from me had I had this pen, like especially in school. So this thing, like the Talkboy, the regular Talkboy, you can record your voice, play it back and forth or whatever, and you can change the pitch. But this also gives you the ability to play sound effects, and one of them is like the sound of a wolf howling out the moon. So, like, yeah, definitely this thing is for sure getting taken away from me. I would be playing all kinds of shit during tests, or maybe even listening to answers on a quiz or something to the effect during a test. I mean, this is like the ultimate cheat tool. While people were like, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but when I was in school, a bunch of people would like type out a bunch of answers for tests, and they would make the print really, really tiny and just tape them around their pencils that they're using during a test.
Yeah, so by the time, that's like the oldest trick in the book. By the time I was able and confident enough to actually cheat on a test, it wasn't until high school. And the tests that I would try and cheat on were, math tests that really relied on equations. And the problem wasn't doing the math. The problem for me was always remembering what equation to use. So my friends and I came up with a little solution where we would take like a pink eraser and you'd carve out like the top half of it. You'd make a piece of paper the size of that hole,
just
fill it with all of your equations, and then stuff it in there, and then take the piece of eraser that you had already cut out and cover it over. So it just looked like you had a normal eraser, and when you needed it, you would open it up like a little secret compartment, and there was all of the equations that you needed that you couldn't remember. So, not quite a pen, but them's the way we cheated back in the day.
Them's is those ways. That's pretty crafty. I'll give you that.
And now kids can have their phones on their desk during a test, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, totally. We don't care about. We got fucking earbuds they don't have any string or anything attached to them. They're listening to quiz answers while they're taking their test, so it doesn't even matter.
They're not even listening to quiz answers. They're selling product and drop shipping over to excuse me.
That's where it's at.
Thought finished. that I'm not gonna go back and re-record that. That's it. That's I'm done.
If it's me, I'm listening to Pornhub. Just like that drum beat in the first boom.
Can the rest of the class hear what you're listening to that you find so interesting during the middle of the test, Dave? No, I'd rather they don't.
It's monstrous.
Chief, that wasn't a monster. That was the captain of the high school basketball team.
It's hair-raising. It's Homer in 3D.
Holy macaroni!
Don't miss an all-new Simpsons Halloween special.
Whoa, man.
Part of Fox's Halloween Bash, Sunday.
All right, so we've enjoyed some Haunted Mask. We've enjoyed a couple of commercials. The next thing on the docket that we really should start talking about is the main event for Sunday night, Grimy. None other than a showing of The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. And this time, Fox was showing episode 6, volume 6, installment 6, whatever you're calling it. Treehouse of Horror 6.
This one's a good one. This is a good lineup. We have 3 really, really heavy-hitting episodes in the Treehouse installment. Like, it's good. Can't wait to get into these.
Yeah, so this is one of the best ones. I grew up not with the VHS tape, because there is a Treehouse of Horror-ish VHS tape. I didn't have that, but what I did grow up with was the DVD. And the DVD came with like 5 episodes on it. And man, like when I say I had that thing on repeat, it got to the point where my mom would hear Marge walk out in the beginning and go, hello. And she would go, oh God, not that again. I made the mistake one night of actually watching it in the living room, and she came down and told me to pop it out and go in the basement and watch it in the basement because she couldn't listen to it anymore.
She was like, you know that place in the basement you hate? Go there and watch it. Get
go
out
there
of my face
now and close the door. I don't want to listen to this anymore. But that is how good this episode is, because this episode is actually the one I think I probably watched the most off of that DVD, because the segments were so freaking good, Grimy.
Oh yeah, they were perfect. I love them. Love them all.
This is one of those ones that it just doesn't get old, that I can watch it every year if I want to, and I'm not sick of it, because everything is just paced so perfectly and the jokes are so good. So for those of you who might not be remembering or haven't rewatched it yet, it starts off with Krusty as the Headless Horseman. Like one of the best openings for Treehouse of Horror ever.
Oh yeah.
And he's doing the whole Sleepy Hollow thing. He's holding his own decapitated head. He laughs, and then he throws his own head at the screen.
Yeah.
It's
and it
just
busts out into blood, and then the Treehouse of Horror logo appears in blood. It's fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome, dude.
It's so good.
Anytime, I don't know why this is, but Krusty and Halloween just mesh together perfectly. I don't know why that is. We mentioned it earlier on one of the other shows earlier this season about the Burger King toys, the Treehouse toys, where Krusty is a vampire.
Yes.
And that's one of our figures from that line, just because he looks right as something evil and spooky. I don't know if it's because he's a clown or what the deal is, but it just works. So that's the opening, but the 3 different segments we have are Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores, the iconic Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace, and Homer Cubed. No bad segments in this
None
episode.
at all.
Not a single bad one.
Right off the bat, any of these in particular your favorite, and why is it Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace?
Well, that's it. I mean, those who have been with us long enough, maybe even from before Leftover Pizza, you probably know that back in the Dem Boys days, Dem Boys really started out as a whole t-shirt thing where we were making like bootleg t-shirts that we just wanted to see that nobody else was making.
Yeah.
And a couple years before that, I had done a piece of art based off of this, with Willie holding his rake in the style sort of an old Nightmare on Elm Street poster. a bit more simple than that. But he's standing over Martin, who is laying dead. That image of Martin where he's laying on the gurney, the stretcher, before they pull him out of the classroom. It was Willie hovering over him there. So that was one of the first real big projects that we took on at Dem Boys, and probably one of the first things that might have even caught your attention and why we met. So yeah, Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace is important for many more reasons than just, it's a good episode.
Oh yeah.
It's there's a lot there.
Why don't we run right through the line here? So, Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores. All the advertising mascots come to life and just kind of like wreck the town.
Yeah, all because Homer goes out one night to get a donut, and he doesn't get a donut as big as the one that's promised on the sign. He gets a normal sized donut. He gets pissed off, so he goes out in the middle of the night, wraps a chain around the statue on top of the building, Lard Lad, on top of his big fake donut, steals the donut from the store. The problem being is that all of these big commercial mascots come to life, and Lard Lad finds out when he comes to life that Homer stole the donut, and that sends him into a rage, which then sends all of these other mascots who are kaiju-like in size and stature to start destroying the city. And it's up to Lisa, as always, to solve the problem and get the issue fixed by making a very, very catchy little jingle.
Yeah. Lisa, the voice of reason and a piano. It's great. It's iconic. I love it. I don't really remember the jingle much, but I love when she goes into the advertising agent's place, and he's like just kind of playing around on the keys, and he's like, monster. It's just like random words. He's like, it doesn't sound great right now.
Yeah, wait until Paul Anka starts singing.
Yeah.
And just don't look. Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, so they figure out that if you distract the masses, there's a whole, it's deep.
Yeah, it's deep, bro. It is.
If you distract the masses from advertising, they just have to focus on something else, and the advertising loses its power, man.
Yeah,
and then they cap that off by Homer looking directly into the camera and saying, "We'll be right back." And then, of course, the show cuts to real commercials. So, man, this is The Simpsons at the top of their game, like a satire show that knows exactly what they're doing. And, I want to say that this one was actually partly written by David X. Cohen, who is one of the reasons that Futurama came to be, the very, very smart comedy. So yeah, his stamp is sort of all over this, with it being as smart of an episode as it is, I think.
It blows my mind that people can think that far ahead and like figure things out that well and put them into place like that. It's like, what? How do I do this? How can I do this? I can't.
It's simple. We don't. We're just not that good.
Not at all.
Followed it up with the Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace segment, which, like Grimy said, this is the one. There's just so many fucking iconic jokes in this one. The lousy smarch weather. That's like one of the best fucking jokes that's ever been committed to the small screen, in my opinion. And that's the reason why Willie gets burnt up like a weenie, and his name is not Fred, and ends up doing his own little Nightmare on Elm Street spoof here. But I have to ask you about this one.
Okay.
Did you have any exposure to Freddy Krueger or Nightmare on Elm Street before seeing this, or was this also your first exposure?
I don't think I did. I don't think I did have nothing previous. Like I know who he was at that time. Like I knew who he was, and I knew of the character and like the whole claw hand thing, and that's it. Other than that, I didn't know what Freddy Krueger was, just that he was, something in the horror realm, and that I should be afraid of him. And that actually set me up for this episode, where I was like, am I going to be fucking terrified because that's what this is like based off of? And I mean, obviously I wasn't when I watched it, but like, yeah, it did have me second guessing myself when I was a kid.
Oh yeah. So I'm glad. So we're sort of on the same page about this, because aside from knowing who the character was, there was no chance I was ever going near it at least at that point, because it
Right.
just petrified me so much. And it's kind of crazy, with as funny and as witty as this spoof is, it's still pretty scary at certain points. And you're never going to believe it. But the thing that I found genuinely scary from this segment that like I would think about sometimes when I was going to sleep, and it would sort of like keep me up a little bit, is the very end of the episode when Willie is a tractor.
Oh, really? That's the
I
one
don't
that set
know,
you
man.
off, huh?
There was something about Willie as a tractor that I didn't like when he's, been defeated. He drives into the sand pit and he's like sinking in the sink sand. He's a tractor, but he's also turning into a couple other things. So he turns into like a big spider and I don't know, just that whole morphing thing also didn't sit right with me. Like, I know it's funny and it's tongue in cheek, but even so, I don't know. It was just a little unsettling to me. I still thought the whole episode was funny, but I was like, I don't really like this part of it.
Yeah. No, it was unsettling. I completely agree. But Maggie makes it better and pulls the plug on him, and he, deflates. So it's all better. Go to sleep happy.
It's all good. That's right.
Now, I remember laughing my ass off at this episode when I was a kid, though. When they're wheeling Martin out and like the cover comes off, he's like, "Please, just get him out of here." No, not into the kindergarten room. Like, fucking classic. I love it. So good.
For me, with Martin, the part that actually got me, when he's in class by himself, he's finished his test, he's fallen asleep, and then the next thing you know, he's in the dream world, he's getting chased and stalked and blah, blah, blah. But it cuts back to him in the classroom, and it's just him making the craziest faces and screaming at the highest pitch possible just by himself. And the whole class is just looking at him like not doing anything. Like, that gag in and of itself used to really crack me up, and it still does.
Then we can't forget when Willie's on fire and like he has to wait his turn because they're having this like big parent conference thing going on in the middle of this classroom, and they're like, "Listen, Willie, you got to wait your turn." So he like politely sits down as he's still on fire.
While Kirk Van Houten gets up and he goes, "I don't like the idea of Milhouse eating 2 spaghetti meals in one day."
There's obviously more important things going on. Like, who cares about this guy? And then, so he disintegrates basically, and there's just nothing left but his skeleton. And he's like, "I'm going to come back and basically like haunt your kids and take it out on your kids." And the police officer, I can't remember his name, but he gets up and is like, "What are you going to do? How are you going to do that with skeleton power?"
And then Willie's own skeleton arm sweeps up his own cremains and tosses them away. Because he cleans up one last mess before he dies, which is just perfect.
Absolutely.
And then finally, the last segment. This is one that I see it gets so much praise, and it's always gotten so much praise. It's good. I like it. But I think it gets a lot of praise because it allowed the Simpsons to make their first jump into the third dimension. So Homer Cubed, it's based off of, I believe it's based off of an old Twilight Zone episode. But basically, Patty and Selma are coming over, and Homer is trying to do anything he can possibly do to get out of having to visit with them. So he ends up finding a spot behind a bookcase, which it turns out the wall is not a real wall, but it's a portal to another dimension. And when he crosses over into that portal, he can't get back into his own home, but in that dimension, he's actually in 3D. And I think it's just like, for the time, it's graphically impressive. And it was something people weren't expecting to see, was Homer in 3D, this 2D cartoon, like brought to life for the first time.
This is true. And like, just to kind of prove the point, when they did, I don't remember if this came after, I'm pretty sure this came after, but like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, when they had basically a balloon of Bart in 3D form, like, it didn't look good. Like, it was not how people perceived him to look in like the 3D realm, I guess. But like, yeah, they did a spot on job with both Bart and Homer for this episode. And it still holds up today. Like, I just watched it yesterday, and I was like, this is kind of impressive for what they have here.
Absolutely. One of my favorite jokes in the whole episode is just when Homer asks if anybody's seen that movie Tron, and there's like 25 people in the house, and they go through basically every character, and everybody's going, no. Just like, I love when The Simpsons pokes fun at Disney whenever they can, because Tron was, for all intents and purposes, a flop back in the day. And they're like, hey, remember that flop that Disney had?
Yeah.
Nope, never saw it. Oh, yeah, well, it's because it was a fucking flop. It was just so good. And then, listen, I'm not going to give you the whole rundown of the whole episode, because you can go watch it, or you've probably already seen it. But the other part that I really, really like is obviously the very end when he gets sucked in, because he's in this like void, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the void collapses in on itself, and he actually gets sucked into the real world. And the thing that we leave him on is that he's walking down the street. He still looks like a cartoon. And before the episode cuts out, he finds an erotic bakery and goes in. That's the first thing Homer does in the real world, is find an erotic bakery.
There's just this sign that says erotic cakes, and there's like a couple of asses made out of cake with thongs on them. And he's like, ooh, and walks in. And then there's just like the pan out ending, and that's it. Just pretty good.
It's like the best way to end it. So yeah, all in all, super, super strong episode. And love that it's part of the Fox Bash. Like there's so many other things that they could have shown, and I'm glad that this was one of the things that we actually got to sit down and watch as part of it.
Okay, now don't get Grandma too excited.
That's right. Your poor dear is probably a bit weak. She has been running on the same Duracell battery since the Ice Age.
Those Duracell batteries sure do last.
The copper top. No battery is stronger, longer.
All right, we have another round of commercials, and I'm first up, and I'm going to hit you with this here probably familiar commercial, the Duracell Robot People commercials. And this one, it's kind of a doozy. The family visits Grandma's house, and they're cracking jokes about her running on the same battery since the Ice Age. Lo and behold, the family walks in, and Grandma is boogieing around and dancing, and is pretty much the opposite of their conversation. These robots are terrifying, plain and simple.
They're horrible. And they have a name, Grimy. They have a name.
Do they?
This is the family. They're the Puttermans.
Oh, yeah, I've left that little detail out.
So
Thank you.
Please put some respect on that name as you tell me.
All right, Puttermans, I'm sorry, dog. Sorry. You're terrifying.
Yeah, they're terrifying, huh? Just horrible, horrible things. And I'm glad that I don't have any recollection of seeing these as a kid, because I'm sure if I had seen them, and I mean, I must have seen them, I would have been terrified of them.
Yeah.
These guys are going to leap out of the TV and kill me.
Yeah. So I did see these as a kid, and like I totally forgot them. This is one of them commercials that, you know, we're big fans of commercials in general, as you've probably guessed. And like there are some commercials that you've seen millions of times. They're right in the frontal lobe there. You remember them immediately all the time without even having to put any thought into them. Some of them kind of get lost back in the matter of your brain somehow.
The recesses of your mind.
Yeah, man. They're stuck back there somewhere, but then you see them again, you're like, oh fuck. This is one of them commercials where I really wish I wouldn't have seen again, but like I'm partial. One, I'm like kind of terrified of them, but two, I'm glad I remembered that I was terrified of them for the sake of the show. These are right up there with every other like supposed to be inanimate object made to look like a human. We were comparing them to NSYNC's video for "It's Gonna Be May."
Yeah, very much looks like the puppet versions of NSYNC. And I was going crazy because I said, oh, they also kind of look like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus 3, because there's an evil like life-size toy version of Santa that Jack Frost creates, and he's just a bad guy, but he's got like a plastic beard and plastic hair, and he was always super unsettling to me when that came out because he just looks off, he looks like a giant action figure, but in the worst way. But Grimy, I think I just came to the conclusion as you were talking. I don't know if you saw a light bulb go off for me here.
I could tell you were ignoring me because I made a joke about the video being it's going to be May and you completely avoided it.
Okay, well, here's why. Here's why. Because I finally figured out who I thought these guys look like. I'm going to send this to you right now.
Oh, man.
I think you're going to understand.
I'm ready for this. Oh, God. Robbie Rotten. Yeah, I don't know who he's from, but I know this character. I've seen this character. What is he from?
So he's from this show called Lazy Town, which I'm looking here. It ran from 2004 to 2007. And actually, the actor who played this Robbie Rotten character, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, which is why it's lingering in my mind, because otherwise I would have totally forgotten about this.
All right.
I didn't watch this show when it was on. I was way too old for it, but I had younger cousins who watched it, so I would catch glimpses here and there. And this dude, I think he was wearing a prosthetic chin. At least I assume he was. But he looks kind of plasticky. I can't describe it. He just looks plasticky in the same way that these Duracell Puttermans family look plasticky. And that's it. That's what I was thinking of, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So they are basically Lazy Town villains, is what Duracell chose, but 10 years before that even existed.
No, you're not too far off. This is definitely in the same Millhouse anyways. I'm seeing it right here, and they're all terrifying in their own way.
Did you just say it was in the same Millhouse?
Millhouse.
like two spaghetti dinners Millhouse?
Yeah, man. Is that not the correct term?
It is now. I like that a lot better than the proper term.
What's the proper one? Am I not saying it right?
Wheelhouse, but no, I like that better.
Well, I can't delete that. Jesus Christ.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, we're totally blue. I want to be in this commercial.
You ain't getting this job because you're not blue.
Great. Oh, look at that.
Oh, they even got B.B. King singing the blues.
I want to be blue.
Wait.
I got the blues.
Take me home, B.B.
Hurt me. Get funky. Cut. They're not blue. Uh-oh. Those blue M&Ms?
Mr. King ate them. One bite, saw with my own eyes.
All right, so the last commercial I chose to pick for this Halloween bonus episode, Grimy, was I mentioned earlier that my picks were both from the first commercial break. And this one actually comes before the Dan Marino Looney Tunes commercial. This is a blue M&M's commercial. Did you watch it? Have you seen it?
I did watch it, and I have seen it. It's a pretty awesome commercial. It really brings back a lot of memories.
So listen, I mean, it's an M&M's commercial. It's not too deep, okay? The only thing that I can say is that this is around the time when the blue M&Ms were a big deal. That blue, didn't it replace a tan color?
Yes, I was just going to say, out with the tan, in with the blue. What a momentous occasion it was. People were shitting their pants when they saw these blue M&Ms were coming. What the fuck? Why are they doing this?
Dude, that was crazy. I remember my grandparents making a big deal out of it. This was back in the era where you could make up something that insignificant and it actually became a pop cultural event. People gave a shit that there are blue M&Ms now. I remember my grandfather going out and buying M&Ms and be like, look, it got the blue ones in them now. And you were like, wow. Genuinely, that wasn't even faked. It was just wow, there's blue M&Ms now. And this whole commercial is based around this new color. So you see red and yellow, and they're walking on the set of a commercial, and it's a commercial for blue M&Ms only because they're trying to promote that. So it's sort of meta in that way. And they walk past BB King because blues. Get it? It's
there's a whole thing there.
we're doing blue. We got to get the blues guy.
Mm-hmm.
But so red and yellow are afraid like they're going to be replaced with like a new blue icon. They have to keep the relevancy. So they go find a bucket of blue paint and they paint themselves blue so they can be a part of the commercial and be the stars of the commercial. And of course they get called out by the director, you know, blue M&Ms only. And that's like the whole joke. So it's not literally the commercial itself is nothing special. I know that goes against why I would pick it for a show. But I wanted to take this opportunity to just talk about how fucking important and how like huge the M&M's characters were at this point in time. Like, if anything ruled the 90s in a commercial sense, it was the M&M's. This was the era when they were getting TV commercials left and right and multiple new ones a year. At Christmas, the M&M's Christmas commercials were like events. People waited for the new M&M commercial to come out every Christmas. Like, they were getting candy dispensers, plushies, action figures. At one point, they got video games. I think there's like an M&M kart racer game on the PlayStation 1 from that era. And not to mention, this is also the point in time where the M&M stores are opening up all over the country, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
New
true.
York City got an M&M store. I remember, again, these same grandparents who went crazy over the blue M&Ms, they used to take yearly trips out to Las Vegas, and they made it a point to get to the M&M's what is it called? M&M's World in Las Vegas when that opened up. Like, that was a tourist attraction. They needed to see it. So these guys were just, they were celebrities at this point in time.
Oh yeah, they're a cultural phenomenon. Yeah, we really only had like 3 commercials back when we were kids. We had the Sunny D commercials, and we had some Got Milk and fucking M&Ms.
That's true. That's true. Man, I forgot about Got Milk too.
Got Milk.
Fucking everywhere, huh?
Oh
Not just
God,
on TV either. They were in
magazine ads,
billboards. You couldn't escape it.
Same with M&M's, really. Like, they had
True.
plenty of magazine ads, like a plethora of magazine ads that you could still find today. But yeah, there are very few food mascots that really come to life like the M&M characters do.
And here's the thing. Like, this is the most interesting thing about it to me. Is that M&M's had been around for like 40, 50 years at that point. Why did they feel that they needed to dump so much money into advertising at that point? It just, like, it's not like it was garnering any more attention for the M&M's brand. M&M's were around, had been around. They would have done just as well had there been no TV commercials. All I can think is that there is one CEO who is going mad with power. And he was trying to create his own cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And his characters, his cast, were his M&Ms. And you know what? I respect the fuck out of it. That guy said, we've got an ad budget, and I'm doubling it. And you're not going to kick me out of power because I'll kill this M&M. I swear to God, I'll slit his throat.
I mean, maybe you're onto something because they're still holding true today. Like, there's still every single Super Bowl, there's an M&M's commercial, a huge M&M's commercial. Yeah. Like, it hasn't really stopped. So, yeah.
That's true. And the last thing I'll end on here is that in this particular commercial, again, just sort of driving home how popular these characters were. Red was at that point voiced by John Lovitz, who had star power at this point in time. He was a beloved comedian.
Yes.
And Yellow was voiced by none other than John Goodman, which, I mean, come on. That man has been in more fucking TV shows and movies and you name it than I can count. And the fact that he was the yellow M&M, like, that's huge. That's where you know that they committed a lot of resources, time, money to making the M&M such a cultural mainstay. And it worked because here we are almost 30 years later talking about it off of some obscure tape of Fox Halloween Bash 1995. And this is the thing I decided to bring up.
All right, so that's about all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed our final Halloween bonus show for the season. 2023 has been a weird season. For some of us, it's not quite over yet, and for others, it's definitely been over. It's been a weird one. I know that we'll be able to share our thoughts on that very, very soon as well. And if this is our last chance at reaching you this season, we'd like to wish you all a very, very happy Halloween, very safe Halloween, and I hope you're with us in the next one. I know we drive a lot of people in for the Halloween season, but we got a lot of good things cooking for Turkey Day as well as Christmas. Hope you're here till the very end.
Yeah, and go eat a popcorn ball or two. You deserve it. You've earned it.
Thank you for listening.
Catch ya sometime soon.